Hi, Jenny here. Today I thought we would talk with Cassie, now that she is back from Korea, all about her adventures. So she kindly agreed for me to interview her. So I wrote down some questions. I let her know what they were so she could kind of have an idea of what I thought we wanted to talk about. What I wanted to ask her. So, first of all, I guess go ahead and explain like where you're at, like college. Why did you decide to go to Korea? Why Korea?
I am a linguistics major, so for my final year at UWM, I decided to study abroad. My minor is also in Korean language, and therefore, to kind of knock both out of the park, I decided that I would do my final semester at a university that our college partners with in Korea, so that is why I went. My sister also did a study abroad semester, and I figured it would be fun to go as well.
And she went to Korea.
Yeah.
And now part of your minor, was it? You needed international studies?
One of the options for like an upper level credit was either take like one of these 3 classes or do a study abroad was also part of that as part of the culture classes that you have to take. So instead of taking like a 300 level class, or a 400 level class, I just did the study abroad, and that counts because you're living over there. It counts as you learning the culture.
Okay, so it wasn't absolutely required.
No, it was fully optional,
somewhere.
but I wanted to.
And again, why Korea as opposed to like England or somewhere English speaking?
Besides the fact that I had been taking Korean at college for 3 years straight and wanted to use the language in an actual setting. I've always had a love for languages since I was young. I went through so many Duolingo courses. And I just think that the Asian languages are a lot more interesting than some of the European languages, like the Romance languages or other Germanic languages. So, like, the alphabets are all different, the grammar is all different, and I just think it's a lot more interesting to learn than really any European language, so that's why I picked that. And then like 5-ish plus years ago, my sister got me into K-pop, which got me into the language, so
the music, all the musical groups, just going to the concerts.
Yeah, it was a really good culmination of my last 4 years of college.
That's kind of nice too, though, to learn the Korean language. Again, liking those groups, and they speak their language sometimes at the concerts, and obviously their songs are, but so that to speak the language and kind of understand even the words of the songs and what they say.
Yeah, and it helps too with vocab. Sometimes I'll learn a word from a song, and then it might come up in class, or vice versa. I learn a word in class, and then all of a sudden I notice it in the songs that I listen to, so it just helps reinforce vocab that I've learned too. And then also, during concerts I can kind of cheat before the translator jumps in. I can kind of get the gist of what they just said, so that just feels nice.
Nice. And I'm assuming the language helped, obviously, when you were over there, that you already knew a little bit.
Yep.
And so I guess starting from the beginning, how was your trip over there? So obviously here you're speaking all English and getting on the plane and going. Do you remember how long the airplane trip was?
I think in total it was like 16 hours. So I think an hour and something was getting to the other airport, and then it was like 14 hours in the air to get from the second airport to Korea.
Okay.
So.
And then how was first of all, you got meals on the plane too, right?
Yeah, because it flew out early in the morning, I think. Arrived late at night. I arrived like the next day in Korea because they're 16 hours ahead. So we got dinner on the plane. I think that was the first meal that we had, was dinner on the plane. And that messed my stomach up, unfortunately, and that stopped me from being able to sleep on the plane because I kind of wanted to. Obviously it's a really long flight, you're flying overnight,
time change,
but my stomach was upset the entire plane ride, so I couldn't sleep, I couldn't get comfortable, and then I wasn't hungry for any of the other meals that they offered us, but I also knew that I should be eating because I don't think I ate before I left the house. So I tried eating. A guy next to me was like pounding down everything. There was a guy in front of like of the row next. I was in the middle for this like at the flight, and the guy in the row over and one up, he literally asked for seconds, and I'm sitting there like, we're on the same plane. How are you eating this much? I don't get it.
Yeah.
And so yeah, the food was okay. Breakfast was probably the best, like right before we landed. But again, my stomach was so upset after the first meal, and then like some of like the snacks that they gave us in between. That even though I really wanted to eat breakfast, I couldn't really down all of it because there was, I think it was like rosemary on some pizza twists, and Rosemary and I do not get along. So even though the pizza twist was fine, you know.
Yeah.
But
that's nice that they gave you the 2 meals. So they offered the 2 meals on the way there. Then you landed at Incheon.
Yep.
And so obviously Korean speaking. So did they have like information booths? Did they have English speaking people helping direct you? Actually, you had to go through immigration first or something too, right?
Yeah. So you get off the plane. This is different because I've only ever flown within the continental U.S. When you get off the plane, there's like this really long hallway that you have to go down. So that's really simple. You don't have to wonder, do I go here, do I go here? You just follow the crowd, go straight. And then there was, a while down, there was a worker who was kind of directing you either this way or this way. Pretty much immigration was directed this way because they made you fill out a form on the plane as well about like the countries that you had been in for the past 3 months. Mm-hmm. As well as some other form. One of them you only had to fill out if you were like staying in Korea. The other one was for everyone on the plane, so I had to fill both out. And then the worker kind of directed you. There were signs. The signs are in Korean and in English. So for like immigration, you just went to the left, went around like this queue, turned in the forms that you filled out on the plane, turned those into the immigration officer.
And one of them too was asking like what you were doing there, or like if you were staying or something. Did not just say that you were a student? Or?
Yeah, I had to fill that out. I had to fill out like who was sponsoring me, the address I would be staying at, my phone number, stuff like that. I don't think that the first booth you went to checked your passport. I think they just took the forms, and then the next one was passport and any visa documents that you had. And then there was a fingerprint scan too for that one, so I had to take like my glasses off. Like she had my passport, she was looking at it, looked at my face. I had to take my glasses off so the facial ID could take a picture of my face, and then I had to scan, I think, both of my pointer fingers.
Wow.
And then I was free to go to baggage claim.
So you did that, and then because of being in a different country, you had to get a different phone number.
Yep.
So that you did, though, you did that there.
Yeah.
That was automatic. There are things called like a SIM card, but some of the newer phones, you can do that just electronically on your phone. So Cassie's phone nicely is new enough she could do that.
Yep.
Mandy, who is over there now, and so she had an older phone, and she actually had to get a specific card that you have to like replace in your phone.
Yeah.
So there are stations even right there in the airport.
Yep.
To get that information.
Yeah. So after baggage claim, I went out, and then I was in like the main like hub of the airport, and then I needed to find the SKT booth, so Korea Telecom. I had to find a booth. Yes, SKT.
Yeah.
Their main cell service provider. I ended up finding one, went there, asked for a 90-day, because I'd be staying for 4 or 5 months. I got there the week before. I got there in February. School started the second week of March, but for one of my, not to jump ahead, one of the classes that I wanted to take required an interview over Zoom, and I wanted to be in Korea on the same time zone as the interviewer, and I thought it would just be easier, adjust to my schedule before moving into the dorm, all of that. So I got there early, but I would need a SIM card for as long as possible because you need to be able to talk to people. So I went up to the booth and I asked for a 90-day SIM card, and then she
That's
asked...
like the longest they do, right?
Yeah, you can, and because it's an eSIM, which is the electronic version, it's not the physical card, you can extend it too. So I bought the 90 days initially, and then from there I would just top it up once the 90 days was close to expiring, and at that point you can do 30 days is the max that you can extend it for.
Oh, okay.
So I think I ended up doing a 30-day extension and then a 15-day extension, and that got me through my trip.
Nice.
So yeah, it took care of the SIM card right away, and then it's just a QR code that you have to scan to install it. Installed that, had to restart my phone and deactivate my US SIM card so it wouldn't switch to that if I didn't have any service or anything. And I made the Korean SIM card my main SIM card, so my phone would just always use that, so I wouldn't risk charging.
Yeah, because otherwise you get international
Here.
roaming charges and all that.
Yeah.
So very nicely we have the, do you call it an app or the program Discord?
App, yeah.
It's that we have Discord on our computers, and that's kind of how our family chats and all that anyways. So while being over there, we all chatted every day via Discord, and then that's no charge. Whereas when you use the phone, sometimes we had like I think it was a $12 per day charge that would come through on our phone bill if they were using their phones there. But so Discord was very nice to have, very helpful. Plus then we did video chats once a week too, which I could see their faces and hear their voices. So nice. So in there too, did they speak English at all at that booth or no?
Yeah, I think everyone at the airport speaks enough English to be functional.
Nice.
Because I think the worker asked me if I wanted to be able to make like ingoing and outgoing calls. Because you had to pay a little bit extra if you wanted to make calls instead of just receive calls, and I didn't know really what all I would be needing, so I just said yes. I needed the SIM card anyway. It wasn't that much more.
Yeah.
So I got that, and then that came with a free, she gave me like a bag, a goodie bag.
Free goodies.
With the QR code on it, and she explained this is the information you need when you top it up. If you top it up, this is what you need. It had hand warmers. Again, it's February. They had hand warmers in the little goodie bag as well, and then I got a free T-Money card, which is how you use the public transit there. So anytime you get on the bus or the subway, you can use it for the taxis too, but I never did. That's the card that you use, so I didn't even have to like stop in a convenience store, because that's the other place you get them.
That's nice because there's a charge for that. It's like a $5 charge or whatever. So nice to get that for free.
Well, free it came up.
Oh yeah.
You know, I bought the SIM card, but it was there. I didn't have to stop anywhere else to go get it. It was just part of getting the SIM card, which was very nice.
Yeah.
And then I had to find my way out of the airport because I booked a hotel because the dorms weren't going to open for another week.
Yeah.
So
you booked the hotel from home here before you left?
Yep.
Yeah. So then there you had to find your transportation of how you wanted to get to the hotel.
Yeah.
So what do they offer? They have subways?
There's
there's train and taxis?
There's the KTX kind of, like there's a direct subway line from the airport to Seoul, but I was staying a little bit south of Seoul. Otherwise, there's that train. There are buses. I don't know how many buses. There's a lot of buses that'll take you everywhere, and then taxis as well. So I was approached by a taxi driver pretty much as soon as I came out of baggage claim, and he asked if I had a taxi already, and I said no, or I said something about like I was good because I still needed to get my SIM card. And regardless, I know that like buses would have been cheaper than a taxi.
We had watched a couple videos before she left about the airport and how to navigate and what might need to be done, and then she checked out the transportation because of having a hotel and how she would get there, knowing the different options of
because sometimes if your hotel's in Seoul, they might have like a shuttle service, but I wasn't staying in Seoul, so I think I had to go down a level. I was gonna try to do like the subway because I thought it would be easier, and then I couldn't find how to get to the train.
This is one of like the biggest international airports
I don't know.
in the world, or not, I don't know. It's one of the really biggest international airports. So because there's like even two buildings or something, two terminals of where to go and then find your transportation. And
yeah, so I was trying to find my way to the subway, but there's a sign that said like go, like arrow pointing up, so like go straight ahead, and I went straight ahead and I was looking for anything else, and then the next sign that I saw said go backwards, and I was really confused. I was like, I didn't see a single door, I didn't see a single anything, no escalator, no nothing. I was like, I don't know how to get to the subway. So then I tried getting a bus ticket, and I think all the terminals were either just in Korean, or I didn't know where they put like all the language change options, which is fine. I knew enough to figure out like, okay, I need to go to East Suwon, so Dong Suwon, trying to find it on there, not really working, and then people were lining up behind me, so I just kind of gave up because they obviously knew where they needed to go. So I had enough time, you know. I got there. I had no plans after this besides just get to the hotel. So if they have places to be and they understand how the kiosk works, I'm just gonna let them use the kiosk.
There was no rush of getting out of there or anything.
Yeah.
She took all the time she wanted to do what she needed to do. And
eventually I was lost for like half an hour. I just kind of gave up on sorting it out myself. And I pulled up directions on one of the two main map apps. I was really going to try to fight to use Kakao Maps, because Kakao is also it's the main messaging service that Koreans will use, instead of the one even like built into the phone. They'll just download Kakao, and Kakao has a map app, so I was gonna try to use that, but it's only in Korean versus Naver Maps, which comes in English. So I ended up switching to Naver like not even a month into the trip, like a week into the trip. I switched to Naver just because the directions were a lot easier to understand. But I found an airport worker who was kind of by the kiosks for the bus tickets, and I showed her the directions of where I was trying to go, and I was like, excuse me, help. She took me to the kiosk and then did it for me, pretty much.
She's very kind. She was like, oh yeah, and that's kind of their job. That was why she was there, was to help people find their way. So
and then
she's to your bus.
Yep, you pick your own seat on the bus. They're assigned seats, so she picked the seat. Told me, okay, you're gonna go to this bus terminal, like out these doors, go to this bus terminal, it'll be this bus number, this is your seat number, you're good to, it leaves at this time. And I was like, okay. So it was the soonest bus to when I was there, so I stand and I wait around for a little bit, and then I leave, and then there's kind of a line out by the bus. The driver of the bus is there loading your luggage based off of where you're going. So he'll ask you what your stop is, you tell him, and then there's like 3 compartments on the side of the bus, and he'll put your luggage in the corresponding area. And then you get on the bus, you get on your seat, and then eventually he takes off and you're on your way.
Did you have to transfer at all, or did it take you all the way to you're not Aju. What city were you in?
Suwon.
Suwon.
So yeah, I did get the bus ticket to East Suwon Station. And then from there, I was supposed to take another bus, I think, to, like, that's where the airport bus stopped, was at the East Suwon Station, which I think was just like a really big bus terminal. So it stopped there, dropped me off there, and then from there, I ended up just taking a taxi to get to the hotel, because getting on a bus with like my checked bag and my carry-on and my backpack is just inconvenient, and there's not room really for it. If the bus is crowded, there's not really room for that.
On the buses there worked too, like that. Some of them have you can't stand. Some of them you can, and some you can't.
That's like if you're like inner city buses, you have to be seated. So they have different. All of their buses are like color coded. So any red bus will take you between cities. So anytime I did want to go to Seoul, I would either have to take the subway or a red bus. And if you were trying to take one of the red buses, they have limited number of seats, 40 something, and if the bus is full, they won't stop. If no one asks to get off the bus, they won't stop. There's a little seat counter on the front window so you can kind of see, and then Naver as well will tell you, once you start the directions, it'll tell you approaching this many seats left, this many minutes left, so
nice.
You can kind of...
What the app even tells you that.
Yeah.
Nice, okay.
So you can kind of see, can I even take this bus? If not, find a new route. So, yeah, I ended up taking a taxi to the hotel, checked in nice and easy, and then got in, settled. I will say the hotel rooms were different than ones here because you actually have to put your key card in a little holder, and that gives the room like electricity. That's what lets you turn the lights on, turn the TV on, turn the computer on, anything like that. Like
I've seen that in Europe. I've seen that.
Yeah,
you have Korea
have
too.
to put the key card in a little holder to say like I'm here.
Interesting. Yeah. So that lets everything work. So you had a nice hotel room, and you were kind of near to a park. You went there one day. You got out a little bit.
Yeah.
Got some snacks.
Yep, I went to a bakery because I think we have one in Chicago, Paris baguette, that's really big in Korea, that Mandy wanted to take me to, but when we went, it was too late in the day. It was like sold out here. So when I was over there, I was like, oh, look, it's a Paris baguette. Let me go in. So I got a croissant. I got some sandwiches. I think I got it. No, I got the drink somewhere else. But yeah.
Did Mandy meet you the first day?
Yeah.
When you first? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's so nice. Mandy came and met her. But at your hotel?
Yep.
Found your hotel, and then
Yep.
You guys went out to eat.
Yep. Really nice.
So
There's like a rooftop dessert cafe,
nice warm
restaurant
welcome.
nearby where I was. So we got a mixed berry cake and some drinks.
And she brought you like a vitamin C drink or something?
Yeah, because she was convinced
So
that,
sweet.
because I think she got sick when she immediately got there both times. So everyone was convinced that I was going to get sick when I got there, and I didn't.
Woohoo! Good immune system.
Yep. But
So yeah, Mandy brought her a vitamin C drink just in case, just to help out.
Yep.
So that was neat. Traffic-wise, what did you think? Did you even that a little bit? And about your whole stay there was the city you were in? Because it was more of a main city, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Not really small town per se, but one of the
No.
bigger ones. So traffic, was there a lot of traffic around? Was it
I
kind of like the east side-ish or?
no, it's way worse than the east side.
Okay.
Korean traffic is like Chicago on crack almost. Sorry, YouTube. It's Chicago but really bad. Like bumper to bumper, merging with very little indication, horn honking.
So lots of horns, eh? Yeah.
Lots of horns. Like I would message my sister or my friends like they didn't honk. Because I was genuinely so surprised. I was like, oh my goodness. Like there's one time I was riding a bus and this car like turned in front of the bus and the bus didn't honk even though it was like a really close like turn in front of the bus, but and then the car was kind of slow and the bus just merged around the car. I was like, that is amazing. That bus driver was one of the best I've ever had. He was even socializing with some of the other ladies on the bus.
Aww.
I was like, this is so fun.
Nice.
I like this guy.
Cute.
Really gentle too, because some of the bus drivers I'm convinced are trying to get you to like fall out of your seat or like fall if you're standing. The way that they slam on the gas, slam on the brakes, turn. I'm like I am afraid for my I'm getting car sick. That's how bad this is. They're like, if you're holding onto like the handrails, I'm like, I'm gonna elbow someone. Like I'm gonna
yeah, because there were some
fall
you could
into
stand.
someone.
Yeah. That's why you're standing.
Yeah, no,
Maneuvering.
some of them were. I had at least two like that where it was really bad, and I was just like, oh boy.
So how long do you think it took you to kind of acclimate to the time zone?
2-3 days really. It wasn't that hard. Because I stayed up relatively late that first night, and then I think the second night I was there, I had that interview for the class that I needed, and then I thought that I did really horrible on it, so then I slept for the rest of the day until like 10 p.m. and then I think I was up a little. I was up for a little bit at that point, and then I was like, okay, bedtime. I think after that I was pretty acclimated, so I think it just took a full day of just sleeping through the day for me to be good.
Yeah, not bad. So you had that week in the hotel.
Yep.
I don't remember if you visited Mandy again. I think you did.
I never visited her when I was in the hotel.
Oh, okay. And then you went to the dorms. The dorms opened.
Yep.
Dorm movement, so we had to go there, and then they had to do student ID right away.
Yeah, they had it printed off. I just had to fill out like a move-in form when I got there, so I took a taxi to get to the dorms because of all of my stuff, and I was told I can't walk it. I ended up walking it later. Lo and behold, with Mandy, we did actually walk all the way down to like that park.
Oh, well,
and
yeah.
then all the way back
But
up.
without suitcases.
Correct,
It was just,
but
yeah.
I could
told
have.
them, like, make it easy on yourself. You know, again, she had the two, you know, one big, huge suitcase, the suitcase that you check, and then the carry-on, which is, again, a good size but could roll, and then her backpack. I think she had a bag, too. Didn't you have a cloth? No, just a backpack?
The tote bag was in my backpack.
Okay. So I just, you know, traipsing down a 15-minute walk, you know, dragging the suitcases behind
Oh, it would
you.
have been a 40-minute walk.
Oh, 40.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Not 15.
I thought you were a little closer.
Nope.
Yeah,
40-minute walk.
Still. So yeah.
Could have, and I did later.
The check-in went pretty easily.
Yeah, they have forms in English and Korean, so you would just take the one you could read. I took the English form, filled all that information out, so it was again a name, room number. I don't think it asked for student ID number for this one because I didn't know it at that point, but it was pretty much a phone number. I think that was the main information, and then you would hand that into the dorm inspector. He would look then, he would give you your ID, and then tell you, for the dorm that I was staying in, there were two different dorms that we were allowed in. There was the international dorm and then Hua Hall. I was in the international dorm, so that one only has like two beds.
2-bed dorms, so
Yeah.
not suites or anything.
No.
With more. Okay.
Just versus Hua Hong has 2 beds or 4 beds. So he would then tell you, okay, like you are like side B or you're side A.
Yeah,
Like
so the
A,
bed
B, C,
was
or D.
even assigned.
Yeah.
Because like when she was here, went to Platteville, you could choose. You go in the room, it's like, which bed do you want? Whatever.
Yeah.
Which she was by herself anyway, so it was okay. But so this was already assigned, so you
Yeah.
didn't have to.
Yeah, so I was furniture, I was side B or whatever, so your closet is assigned, your desk is assigned, your bed is assigned. So they're all labeled like B or A, and then you do all of that.
And then the floors were separated, right, girl and boy.
Yes,
So,
the men were floor 2 through 5, and then women were 6 through 8. And I don't think anyone lived on one.
And the only way to get into the hall was your card.
Yeah.
So like what other students weren't allowed in. So even like you had a friend there.
Mm-hmm.
So Angela also went. But like you couldn't even go in her dorm and visit her, right? She couldn't.
I
come
never
visit you.
tried.
Oh, okay.
Because that's how I read the rules, is that like anyone who doesn't live in the dorm is not allowed in the dorm. So even though I'm a student at the university, I don't know if, because I'm not living in that dorm building, if I'm allowed in. None of us ever tried to get in. We would always just meet outside.
Because if you broke the rules, they had a point system. So
Yeah.
if you broke the rules, then you'd get docked points. And if you got docked enough points, they'd kick you out.
Yeah.
So yeah, no one chance stuff. And
No. So.
yeah.
Yeah, but there were 2 gates that you would have to scan your ID, and then the gates open, and then you're allowed in the dorm, and then take the elevator up. And the elevators were segregated too, so there were 3 lines.
Oh.
First one, well, technically line 3, but it was the closest to where you would go in. That was for men only, so it would only take you to floors 2 through 5. And then line 2 was only for the women, floors 6 through 8. And then line 1 was for teachers.
Line 3.
Line, you want me to start from line 3?
Yeah, I think we got 1 and 2. 2 was girls.
No, line 3 was
Well,
men, line 2 was girls, line 1 was for the teachers. That would take you to the 9th floor only.
Oh.
So.
they couldn't go to any floor they wanted even?
No,
teachers.
No.
Hmm?
That'd be weird.
So then in your dorms you had, like in the building, so the main floor they had mailboxes.
Yep.
For everybody, and then was it on the main floor? Was there a basement where the laundry?
Laundry was on the main floor as well, so you would, as soon as you walked straight in, that was the mail room, and then if you turned right, that was to get to the elevators. If you turned left, that's how you got to, they had a gym in there as well. I never even touched that door. And then a little bit past the gym on the other side of the hallway was the laundry room, and I think another set of stairs down
And
there.
this was one main laundry room, but they also had they had a divider.
Separated, yep.
So there was a girl's side and a boy's side. So that's kind of interesting too. I found that interesting.
Didn't stop some guy from coming over to the girls' side and using one of our washers, though.
Yeah?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Often or just?
I don't know, because Susan caught some guy, like, loading his laundry into the washers on the girl's side, and she was like, you know you can't do that, right? He's like, oh, what? No, I didn't know. And it's like, how? It's color-coded. It's written in English, Korean, and either
signs.
Yeah, and Chinese as well, I think, and maybe also Vietnamese. Like, the color-coded, there were pictures, several languages. Like, yeah, sure, you didn't know.
I have to read. And then on your floor, there was obviously the bathroom and showers.
Yep.
And then there was a kitchen.
Yep.
And a refrigerator and
Three
so there were stoves and stuff.
stoves, yep.
And then for the refrigerator, you had to mark your stuff.
Yep.
Mark your food. It was very nice.
So every
Yes.
month there were color-coded stickers, so you would write your name, your room number, and then what day you put the food in. You could also buy like boxes for the fridge. There were size requirements for that I don't think they checked. But you bought like a fridge box, and then you could just put your sticker on that, and it would work for the whole month, because then you just put the food in your food box, and then you're good.
Nice.
So yeah, color-coded stickers for every month, and they would put that on the fridge and also on the first floor saying this is this month's sticker. And the first Wednesday of every month, one of the cleaning ladies would go through the fridge and she would take everything out that didn't have the correct sticker on it. I think if it was a dairy product and it didn't have the correct sticker on it, it was tossed immediately. There were some other requirements about, like, if it's like open drink, it would be tossed after however long, and if it was food, it would be, or fruit, it would be tossed after however long, but I'm not sure what those were.
And Korea has a very strict recycling policy.
Yes.
So you also just can't throw stuff in trash. There's different bins for, so for plastic?
So we only had 3, which was funny because Mandy has 4 different, she has like 4 or 5 different, like, food waste for her has to go in its own special yellow trash bag. And then plastic, vinyl, and recycling, like paper. Those are the other main ones. So we had, and then general trash. So we had general trash, paper, and then bottles. So really, like, any plastic, I tried putting in the bottles. No, I did not. We did not have a food waste.
Oh, so that would have been general trash.
Yeah.
Okay. Because somebody did clog up the sink, and there are pictures above the sink too saying, do not dump food in the sink.
It was just don't leave it. Like, sure, like if you're making ramen or whatever and then you're draining it or you didn't finish it, whatever, or if you're cooking in there and you're draining something, putting it in the sink, it would say drain your food waste and then throw it out. People would drain their food waste and then just leave it in the sink, so that every time the cleaning ladies would come in the morning, they had to throw it out. So they would they literally took a picture of our sink one of the days, printed it out on a sign, and put that above the sink about like a week or 2 into us living there. It said, like, hey, don't do this. It didn't stop people. But
college age kids, you gotta think. One, this she keeps joy. Can you read?
Yeah.
It's not that difficult. And that was interesting too. A couple times they were out in the city walking around. That also there are not local garbage cans outside for people just to throw their trash out because of the recycling.
Yeah.
So it's funny because we just went here somewhere.
Troll
with
Park?
you? Maybe it was the Troll Park. I thought there was somewhere I went with you. Did we point out the garbage cans? No? Maybe it was my dad then.
I don't think we've gone anywhere on our own.
I don't know. That's true.
I don't
Have we
think
been
we-
anywhere yet since you've been home?
I mean, 4th of July in Cedarburg, but
Oh, that was it.
Okay.
That was it. Yeah, we went out for 4th of July and we were at the park. And the park had garbage cans all over. And I was like, look at garbage cans and all that. But yeah, she didn't have that there. If they were out in the park and they were drinking, their drinks and they were like,
have to
okay, they
hold
had
on to it,
you have
yeah.
to carry it home with you or what, so that you can throw it away properly.
yeah.
So,
Because Seoul used to
Interesting.
have like public trash cans, but then people would put like their home trash there because city picks it up for free because it's the public trash can. So then people were bringing their home waste out and not paying for the pickup that way. So then Seoul said, "No, you don't get these anymore," and took all the public trash cans away
Yeah.
pretty much.
interesting. So other than that, dorms, was it any different then? Well, you only had Platteville. I mean, that different. You had a roommate.
I
You
did
got
have a
along with
roommate.
her, so that was good.
Yes.
The air conditioning, that was interesting. So there was
Oh.
heat. There was heat and air conditioning. So when they got there, it was February. It was cold.
Yeah.
So for heat, you had,
The ondos, which is the heated floors. So
which you would think would be awesome. When I heard of that, I'm like, oh yeah. If I ever built my own house, I could put in heated floors. That'd be cool. Or really cool. That would be really neat. But
they're fine, but then also my feet were so dry. And also it's a thing that like Korea's water is harsh, so they tell you like replace the shower head with a filtered shower head or else you're gonna be bald because you're gonna lose so much hair. And then
and don't wear shoes inside.
no,
That's something to think.
you take your
that-
shoes off. Yeah,
So
you
you're
have like
walking
indoor and
around
outdoor
barefoot.
shoes.
Or socks, but
Yeah, but my feet were so dry. I did go and I bought like indoor slippers for me to wear. And also sometimes it was so hot, like in my hotel, they had the heated floors on. My feet were burning. I would like get out of bed and I would just put my feet on the ground. I'm like, ooh, that's like hot summer pavement. I'm like, ooh. I
yeah,
can't
but then
really
that's
walk
what
on that.
warms up the room though. So unfortunately,
Yeah.
sometimes too, it's a little cooler. Maybe up above or in the bed, but but down at the floor,
Yeah.
then your feet kind of get burned. So you get some lotion too.
Yeah.
Try getting.
Just so that my feet were tolerable. Because then I would lay in bed and I would literally like move my leg up, just reposition in bed, and I could feel my feet scraping against my blanket. I'm like, oh, that's horrible.
Yeah. So who knew?
Yeah.
It's an interesting thing. And then for the air conditioning,
Yeah, they didn't turn that on, so the dorm inspector had like direct control over the heating in terms of either temperature or when it was on, how long it was on for, and same thing, only in like May, maybe we got the AC turned on, and even then it would only be turned on from like 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., maybe even 7 p.m., 9 p.m., depending
sometimes less,
just
depending on.
just on the outside temperature. Like that determined if
Yeah.
we were allowed the AC on. He wouldn't just turn it on and let it be on and then let us use the remote to, because
Yeah.
we at least got to control the temperature and if it was on or off, but he supplied the power to it.
Yeah, she had a little remote control in the room, so
Yeah.
they could turn it on and all that, but yeah, they couldn't adjust how cold or anything. It was just we could turn it on or
No,
off.
we could do temperature.
Oh, okay.
But we couldn't, but if he didn't give power to the AC, even
But
if
yeah.
we tried turning it on, it wouldn't turn on.
There
So
were times
that's,
that, yeah.
yeah,
The air wasn't even on. They didn't have that option.
no.
So,
Which is fine, it worked fine. Like, I wasn't dying of heat when we weren't allowed AC and the floor was off.
yeah.
But then when we were allowed AC, I was trying to be respectful of my roommate because whenever she was German, so she would always open the window to like circulate the air. We would sleep with the window open too. But as soon as she got up in the morning, she would, if I had closed the window, she would open the window. And I didn't want to then turn the AC on with an open window because then what's the point? If we're letting in that disgusting outside air and I'm turning the AC on, it's just a battle of electricity versus Mother Nature. I think we know who wins.
Yeah.
So
Speaking of which, sometimes the windows open, you kind of had a couple mosquitoes come in.
yeah, those
The
mosquitoes.
sixth floor. Man.
Well, we were
They
also like
fly
in a
high.
forest. Like,
Yeah.
and there were hills.
Oh, true.
So about level with our floor, a bit further back. But yeah, so we wouldn't always, if we had the bug screen down, we wouldn't really get wind in our room. If we had it up, we would get a breeze.
Oh,
So my
okay.
roommate wouldn't always, if it was morning and light outside inside, she wouldn't close the bug screen. And then sometimes at night too, just to get a breeze in the room, she would open the bug screen. However, fine for her, but all of the mosquitoes then came to me. So I had a grand total of like 6 bug bites by the end of my trip that I still have the marks of.
Remnants?
So, yeah, 2 on my
yeah.
thigh, 2 on my calf, 1 that was like right in there.
Which the mosquitoes were big.
Yeah, they were really big, so much bigger than American mosquitoes. That's messed up. I saw them, I was like, that's just incorrect. And then my friend from the Netherlands is like, oh, I thought you had mosquitoes in the US, I guess not. I was like, no, we do. Not like this.
Big. Yeah, so talking different countries. So the international dorm, you had obviously lots of people from all over.
Yep.
And then they had like a meet and greet for you guys. They kind of did events and stuff like that.
Yeah, they had a program that we were talking to students from the home campus there. They would it's like a student council kind of, the global ambassadors. So they organized us into groups. So I was like group 4 or something. But after the orientation, when we got there, they had us, we went out to a bar kind of restaurant, went out and it was just us there, so we got to kind of meet and greet everyone there, and they would try to like mix tables up, or people would just kind of wander and mingle as they wished, but
And they had a trip for you. They went to Everland.
yep, so it's kind of like Disney in Korea. Their version of it, I guess, is the best way to explain it. Theme parky. If anyone knows Fubao, the panda, she lived there before she went back to China. Yeah, so they have like an entire like Fubao house dedicated to her that sells like panda plushies. The Fubao like family tree as well, like her mom and her siblings are also really popular.
Wow.
So there's like pins of them and stuffed animals of them, and maybe like shirts of them too. There was an Olive Young, which is like a beauty store, like Sephora Ulta-esque, that was also in Everland. So the entire like front half of the park is kind of shops. And then there was a little zoo area. So we went around April, I think. No, end of March. March 28th we went to Everland. So still kind of cold. It actually ended up snowing when we were at Everland, but
Little flakes.
more than little flakes. It was really bad. But they have a zoo area, so we went there first. Forget where we went after that, but eventually we kind of looped our way around the back, and then they had, at that time, Everland was doing a collaboration with Sanrio, so the people who own Hello Kitty. So in this little like garden area was a Hello Kitty Sanrio themed event, I guess. They had like cutout characters, and I think they had like a fortune telling booth also somewhere in the park around. They have like a Europe themed section of the park and then an America themed section of the park as well. So when we were in Europe, near Germany, there was like a fortune telling booth. So I do think you might have gotten to like have your palm read or tarot cards read. We didn't do that because it was all in Korean. I'm not that good. But we did take pictures there, and then at the park they had like the word Everland that you could pose in front of and take pictures. And then that day there was a program, I think it was like Dance with Hello Kitty or something, but 2 workers came out dressed in, it was like a really nice purple and then a pink outfit, and they had microphones, and then they would kind of like lead the dance, and then you had the costume characters of Hello Kitty, Pom Pom Puddin, Cinnamon Roll, My Melody.
Okay.
Is it Melody?
There were 4 of them, right?
There was the emo Hello Kitty, I'm forgetting her name, was also there, and then Hello Kitty. So the 4 of them.
So they did a little show.
Yeah, they did a little show, a little dance. I had a blast. I was the one attending while my friends were eating lunch at some Italian place.
And were they sitting under heaters? Did they have little like
Yeah, they had like heat
overhead
lamps.
space? Yeah.
Which was very nice.
Seeing as it snowed.
Yeah, and because it was cold, I actually brought the hand warmers from when I got my SIM card. They were okay. They worked well enough. They didn't get as hot as I would have wanted, but it worked.
And Mandy was able to join, which is very nice.
Yep.
She met them there, and
because it was just a school event planned by our school, but then I told Mandy, I was like, hey, we're going this day. You want to come?
yeah.
So
nice
she got her own
did.
ticket, yeah.
And then afterward, then they had a couple more meetups, but again, it was more like at ride amusement type parks.
Yeah, because I'm not really a ride person, so also a big draw of Everland is like the roller coasters or just the other rides. There was like a water ride too, but obviously it's March, it's closed. But then a couple months later, they organized a trip to Wilmington Island, which is just Everland but on the water, and it's just rides. It's not like there's really anything else to do, so I didn't go to that one.
Yeah.
Because it's just rides. Why would I pay like 20,000 won to go and then do nothing?
No.
So that one was actually a really small gathering because they would send, we had a whole like 100+ person group chat on Kakao of every international student and the global ambassadors, and then they would send pictures afterwards of everyone like who met up. So that one was a relatively small gathering.
Very nice.
Yeah.
But it was nice that the university did like that. They said like the student council type thing did put on a couple events like that, invited them out, so you had a choice of if you wanted to go or not. And we'll take a break because Dad's home. All right. So how was the food that was there?
Food was good. Different to here, but you get used to it, I guess. There were just a couple of things that really confused me when I first tried them. Like getting Doritos at the convenience store. I was like, Doritos, that's a safe option. I just want some salt.
And they look like Doritos, right?
Exactly.
They look like the American bag.
Packaging is the exact same. There's
Same
just
word.
some Korean text on there.
Okay, yeah.
It just said nacho cheese, but I think it said nacho cheese in English and Korean. I was like, lovely. Safe option, it's Doritos. I buy those. I get back to the dorm. I open the bag. Immediately, the dust color is wrong. I was like, okay. Whatever, it's probably different recipe, but surely the same taste. And then I bite into one, and it's sweet. And that is not the flavor of a nacho cheese Dorito, and it's also really dusty. Like, yes, there's dust on Doritos.
Yeah.
Not like that.
No.
Not where it feels like I've got, not even sand, but it's like just dusty. Dustier than it should be. I was like, okay. And it was just so off-putting is the best word for it, that I couldn't finish the bag, and I was like, this is not it. And the popcorn, because I got a bunch of popcorn for like the first couple of months there, mainly because it had a bear on the bag, and again I wanted salt. It was maybe also just like a bit sweeter than the popcorn here, and not as salty. But at that point, you kind of get used to it. I was like, okay, good. Like, good that it's not as salty as popcorn here. Like, I can deal with that. It's salty enough. It satisfies that salt craving.
Sure.
And it shouldn't hurt me as much as salt does here. So that was good. And then drinks were superb. The only drink I didn't like was barley tea. I just wanted to try because you see like all the idols drinking the barley tea. It just tastes like coffee water. And as a person who doesn't like coffee, I couldn't drink that. But everything else I had was really good.
I saw like you got like canned drinks type stuff, but you also got stuff in plastic cups. So were there special either like restaurant shops that you went to that had like, were they bobo drinks, or there was like a blue raspberry, and then you got like the peach? Were those just at restaurants or just?
Depends. There was, so in like the convenience stores, they do sell like cups of ice and then like drink pouches. So like they're just like a bunch of different coffee flavors, or they have peach iced tea, blue lemonade. They did have two. It was like melon boba and coconut boba, like coconut popping pearls or something in there. There was a banana kick Americano flavor at one point.
Oh.
That's only sold. Yes, that's only sold in one of the two. There's,
banana kick is a snack.
Yeah, it's like banana flavored puffy Cheetos.
Yeah.
So there's CU and then there's GS25. The banana kick is only sold in GS25.
Those are the snack stores.
Yeah.
So you get cups of ice and you get your pouch and pour that in there.
Yeah, and the cups of ice have different sizes, so it'll tell you like if your drink is this size, you need this color because the tops are sealed and then that seal has a color on it. So either like blue or yellow or gray. So you would look on like the fridge and it would say like if your drink is like 250 milliliters, get this color cup. So you would grab the right one so it wouldn't overflow and it wouldn't be too little. So sometimes my drinks were that. Otherwise, like 10-15 minutes off campus, there's actually like a robot barista where you would just, it was a really small store, you would just go into a kiosk, order your drink, and then it would make it right there. And then you would take that from, it wasn't even really a robot, it was just automatic. And then take that from there. So I would get like it might have been like a blue cherry, it was definitely cherry flavored drink from there. Nice. Which was really good. My main like plastic cup drinks were peach iced tea. Yeah. From CU.
So they had McDonald's there.
Yep.
Other restaurants. You went to McDonald's.
Yep.
They had kiosks, and the kiosks always had like choice of language.
Yep. So only Korean and English.
Only ordered kiosk, and then.
Yeah, they didn't have cashier terminals like up front at the. It was just this is where you pick up your order. You have to place it at the kiosk. So
were the menu items the same?
Kind of. They also have like bulgogi burgers there, so that's like a kind of Korean beef that like they marinate it some special way. So they would have like I think it was like a chicken patty, but then like bulgogi sauce on the bun. So that was different. They had like Oreo McFlurries at the end there. They don't sell peach iced tea at US McDonald's, so that was different.
Oh, but you got it there.
Yeah.
But then the nuggets too, you couldn't get like a 20-pack?
Yeah, the biggest size that comes in.
American sizes.
The biggest size the nuggets come in is a 6-pack. So I would go to McDonald's and I would order a 6-pack, make it a meal so I could get fries and a drink, and then order 2 more 4-packs to get as close to 20 as I could. I don't know why I just didn't order more 6-packs. In my head, I was just, because 6 and 4 would take me to 10, and then I was already in the 4-pack, so I would just say 2 4-packs and add it instead of going back and doing like 2 6-packs and a 4-pack.
Fun.
Yeah.
They did not have the orange sauce that Mandy liked last time she was there, so that was just like a seasonal type thing or something. So couldn't get that. But that was, and then was there something about like cakes or breads or something? Or I thought it was like cakes. Cakes are like less sweet over there than they are here. Like the chips are more sweet than salty, but their sweets are also less sweet.
Yeah, there's like a crepe cake that I had that was really more just like texture than flavor, really. There was a different like, I really don't know how to describe like the sweetness. It's definitely not as sweet as cakes here. It's still sweet, but it's less sweet than you would expect. Like I had a mango cake one time, and the sweetest part of the cake, because there's obviously the cake and then a cream with mango in the cream and then another cake and then the frosting. Genuinely the sweetest part of the cake was probably the mango.
Oh.
And yeah, that's really about as sweet as cakes got there, was like as sweet as like the fruit that may have been in it, versus like here you can't even eat frosting without like spiking blood sugar, you know. Woo.
And they had a couple Korean barbecue places.
Oh, those are so lovely. I miss it already.
So you went there a couple times.
I miss it. I should have gone more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was your favorite? What do you, as far as even like food, drinks, your favorite? Was it the barbecue place? Was it?
Yes, there's a barbecue place really close to the college campus that I don't know how they were related, if they were related, but this older woman and this older man, I think, were running it together, and then obviously they had workers as well. But the first time I went there, the woman, they also cook the meat for you there. So she took care of us, me and Mandy, when we first went. She grilled everything for us and was even giving us like tips, like, oh, if you eat, because they give you a whole bunch of side dishes as well. So she was like, oh, if you take the meat and then you put it in, I believe it was fermented seaweed, she's like, if you put it in there and then add a little bit of wasabi, that's really good. Or if you do this plus this plus this, that's amazing. And we were like, oh, okay, thank you. So that barbecue place was absolutely amazing. The samgyeopsal was probably our favorite, but then there was also, I don't think I ever learned the name of it because I just learned where it was on the menu based off of how thick it was, because when we first ordered the meat, we only ordered like one serving of it because it was samgyeopsal, and on the picture on the menu it's like 3 really long cuts of meat. So in both Mandy and I's head, we're like, okay, that's what we're getting, that's what one is.
Yeah.
And then she came out, the worker came out, and she was like, it's only 150 grams. Is that like, are you sure? And we're American, we don't know what grams are.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know how many grams of meat is what. And then she came out with it. That was fine because we weren't even really that hungry when we first went because it was kind of breakfast for us. But that was okay. And then we were a bit hungry after. We were like, we can always order more meat because you just order at the kiosk. You don't have to pay right away. You just pay when you leave. So everything is like on your table number, and then it just tallies
up. Yeah, you
up.
order from your table.
Yeah. So we're like, if we need to order more meat, we can. And then we ordered the exact same thing again, just one, because again, we were kind of full at that point because we just had the one serving of meat. And then she came over and she went, that's not enough for you. And I think she brought us an entirely different cut of meat. And I was like, okay, and that one was really good. So then based off of, I compared like menu pictures to what I remembered the next time I went. So then I ordered the samgyeopsal and that one. I just memorized it based off of menu location on the kiosk, so I don't remember the name of it. But offhand, I don't. So anytime I went there again, that's always what we would order was samgyeopsal and then the other one, or 2 of the samgyeopsal. And sometimes the meat just went, like I would order the samgyeopsal and then I swear to God I got the other cut of meat. I was like, maybe I don't know what I'm ordering. Maybe I don't know what's happening here.
It was still good.
It was always really good. I can't complain in that regard, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
nice. And then you could get food. Well, first of all, from there restaurants, do they do take home? Do they do take home boxes or
they
anything?
They don't really like it.
Doggy bags, yeah, they don't.
They don't really like doing takeaway. I know Mandy attempted to do takeaway at like this chicken restaurant once, where we obviously ate inside, and then she didn't finish some of like the nuggets and fries, so she wanted to bring those back home. So she had to go up to the worker and she was trying to ask for them to like pack it up and take it away, and the worker was trying to get her to tell her what she was trying to take away. So you're supposed to just pick one. You're not really supposed to eat there and then bring it home.
Bring stuff home there.
Yeah.
The leftovers, that's not really a thing over there,
No.
bringing leftovers home. And you could do order out, right? You could have food delivered, I should see you. They do that.
Yep. Did that to McDonald's quite a many times.
Nice. So as far as food, restaurants, and all that kind of stuff, was anything that you like didn't expect? There was like a Subway there too. Was there things that were different? You know, they had a lot, I guess American like stuff like the McDonald's and Subway.
Yeah.
So you had enough food choices and all that too for when you were hungry. That was kind of close enough.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I had to walk, of course, obviously because you're in the dorm, so you have to walk every day to go out and get your food.
Yeah.
Or it's been nice to put some in the refrigerator and.
Yeah.
But yeah, with being able to order.
Yeah.
Order in and.
I mean, like another thing that was kind of different, like at kiosks, and especially compared to the U.S., like you can customize a lot more of what you want. Like Subway, you can like or I think there's like sub pick, which is just you take it how the menu has it, and then there's customize it where you actually get to pick what you want on there. Because Subway too, you can't order at the front. You place your order at a kiosk and then they make it. So we went to Poke All Day, and you can't really you can take some things out, but you can't just pick like a full like create your own thing, like this is the base I want, this is the protein I want, these are the toppings I want. You have to pick from like their preset like 4 or 5 options, and then from there you can add some stuff. You can only really remove like one thing or substitute one thing, but there's no real like true customization to I want all of this, I don't want any of this. So that was a bit weird, because I thought that restaurant was something else where I could customize it a little bit more, because I had been to both once. But it wasn't bad, you know. I found a thing that I could eat enough of that then anything I did to it, I would still find I could eat it, you know. Yeah. It wasn't ever just like this one thing makes it inedible and I can't remove it, so.
So it wasn't too like food was a problem, like you couldn't find anything that you liked to eat,
no.
you did well with.
Like there was.
That's always my worry. Going to a different country, I'm like, will I like any of the food? Because I'm fairly particular and like, oh, I don't know.
No, there was one girl there who was vegan, so she had a really hard time finding anything that she could eat.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was vegan, not vegetarian.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, even being vegetarian is kind of hard to do there, but vegan especially is hard.
Interesting. All right, moving on from food, how about shopping? Regular clothes shopping malls? Do they have shopping malls there? Do they have, what's different about getting clothes? Do they?
The first like shopping mall I went to was really bougie. And like literally the first floor was like Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Balenciaga, that Tiffany and Co. You know, like all Bulgari. Like that was the first floor. So even walking in, and even like there was a sign on the door that said like no photography allowed. I was like, I shouldn't be here. Like I'm wearing my street clothes. I shouldn't be in this mall. But it's a lot of like open floor design. Like it's not like you walk into like there's no like door, you walk in, that is the store. It's kind of like there's just hanging signs above it, okay, this is this store, but and then open. Just clothing racks. And then sometimes the floor too, I guess, would be separated, I guess, color-wise. I didn't really look between, like, okay, well, you stepped over the threshold and now you're in this other store. Okay. Tried going to Levi's there, and also fitting rooms aren't really a thing. And it's like 50-50 if the clothing store you go to is gonna have fitting rooms or not. And
then are there returns either?
Yes. Okay. Not on sale items. Sale items, there's at least like one store I went to where I bought like pajamas on sale and I had to pay in cash and there was no returns. Okay. So
without the fitting room, I said, I know you told me that was a thing, that there's no fitting room, so if you have to take it home, at least if you can exchange it.
Yeah, so I think there was like a return policy printed on the back of the receipt. I was lucky enough I never really needed to do that. Everything I ended up buying there fit, and the one thing that didn't fit, it was like a set, so like a shirt underneath and then like a button up, and the button up fit, and that's why I bought the thing for the button up. It would have been nice if the undershirt fit, but not like world ending, and it didn't. Yeah. So.
And then shall we find a couple of cute items like what you're wearing today?
Yes, this was actually at that store where I bought the pajamas. Because I wanted a shirt that didn't have proper English on it, because I think it's kind of really funny.
So yeah, they have a lot of shirts that have, the different...
Either bad grammar, misspelled words, and I think they're really charming.
So
I know I have one.
Kind of cute. Were the store hours pretty much the same? Do they have normal business hours? Were they?
Yeah, they do. Certain stores will actually like take a full hour for lunch too, where they're closed. So you kind of have to plan around that. About okay, they might be open from 10 to 12:30, and then from 12:30 to 1:30 they're on lunch, and then they're back at 1:30. So sometimes you have to plan around that. Otherwise, they're open pretty normal hours. I never had an issue where I was like, I think a store should be open, and then I try to go there and they're closed.
And then another thing that's different, are like a lot of the buildings, they use their vertical space.
Yes.
So it's like you went to an aquarium, but the aquarium was in the mall.
Yep.
But also in the mall, you eat like on, was that the one you ate like on the 4th floor, and then you had but you went down to the main floor for the aquarium, or they?
No, that one, the aquarium, and then I had Auntie Annie's for the first time over there. That was all on one level. That was the Coex Mall. That's famous for the Starfield Library is in there. So there were multiple floors to that. I don't think we ever went up the floors there. When I had to get my photo retaken for the alien registration card, because the one I got taken here didn't work. The background wasn't white enough. It has to be like stark white, not even a hint of gray in there. So that photo studio was actually on the 2nd floor. I didn't know that. I wasn't really reading the signs because I was kind of trying to walk and not hit people on the sidewalk. And then I was standing there on my phone like spinning in circles, and I was trying to figure out how to get into the building to find the photo studio before I finally saw the sign, and then saw like 2F. I was like, oh, 2nd floor, all right. So then I had to find the staircase to get in there. So I think with the hairdresser I ended up going to, they were on, both times I went to a hairdresser, they were on an upper level. And then on the stairs too, there was a cafe that I went to as well on a 2nd or 3rd floor. The stairs will have like the business name and then what floor they're on. So as you go up, you can kind of figure out, and then as you pass the store, like if you're going from 2 to 3, the business on 2, that's not going to show up on the stairs anymore. So then you kind of know if you've passed it, if you're still heading in the right direction.
That's interesting. Another one would be like movie theaters. I don't know about karaoke, if karaoke was on a different floor, but movie theaters are also like
there
the
were
third.
like 3 floors of movie theaters. They're on like the top floor, but then they take up like
3, 4, 5 or something.
Yeah. Well, taller than that, like 7, 8, 9.
Oh,
So yeah, we would
movie
go
theaters. It's not just a movie theater building, and that it's in a building. And it takes up multiple floors.
Or actually, the one by Mandy that we went to, like I think we had to go up to like the 5th floor to buy tickets, and then our movie theater was actually like the 3rd level, or like the 1st level of the basement. But there were like 3 levels to the basement. And then I think the movie theater shares space with other buildings. So like 5th floor was like the 1st floor of the movie theater, and then there were 2 floors above that was also movie theater, and then the basement levels were also movie theaters. So once you buy your ticket at the kiosk, you then have to go back in the elevator and figure out where your theater actually is.
Floor.
Yeah.
That's interesting, yeah. Found that because even the school that Mandy teaches on is in like a business building, and it's on like the 3rd floor.
I think she's on maybe on the 4th, 3rd or 4th. Yeah.
4th floor, yeah. So that's also interesting. It's not like a standalone building.
Yeah.
It's a lot of, again, they use their vertical space. So interesting. Did you see any churches?
Yeah.
I know that because is it Catholicism? Is that kind of their religion?
Yes. It's really big over there.
Think about that. Did you notice that? Like even on our Sundays, did you go out? Did you notice like people do the church thing, or your college dorm area, was that not really?
The church
noticeable?
By the college wasn't ever really that busy. I maybe saw 2 cars there max.
I thought about that at some point.
I don't think I ever really.
Have we ever thought?
I think Saturday was my big like travel day of like going out and doing stuff. And Sunday, a lot of stores are closed, so I don't think I ever really bothered going out on Sunday. That was like my day in to just recover and prepare for the week.
And then you have a couple holidays there while you were there.
Yep.
So again, obviously, different country. They had a couple different holidays. So they had off for what, like was it President's Day, or
we had off for the election, because obviously they want you to go vote. So we had off for that entire day. Children's Day, so it's a day to like celebrate the kids because they're the future, they're the next generation that's going to be taking over the country, so it's like to celebrate them, be like yay you. Children's Day and then Buddha's birthday were the day after each other, so the 5th and the 6th of a month. I think it may be May 5th and 6th were holidays, so we had off Monday, Tuesday as well. I don't think we got off on Friday. We did not. Mandy had off on Friday. I did not have off on Friday for that. I think those were the only holidays we had off. Oh, we had off March 1st as well, Korea's Independence Day. We had off, and that threw off the school schedule, so technically our week started on a Tuesday, not a Monday, because we had that Monday, March 1st off. Or I think it fell on a Sunday, and therefore they pushed the holiday to Monday.
I forgot to ask you too, how were your classes? Were they different than they were here? Were the teachers, any less strict, more strict, easy to understand?
Well,
classes were in English?
Yes, 3 out of 4 of my classes were in English. One of my teachers was actually from Ohio, so he taught like an American professor. I was the only American in that class, so as soon as I said, on like day 1 of taking attendance, he would ask your name, what you want to actually be called in class, and then where you were from. And as soon as I said the U.S., he asked for where, and I was like, Wisconsin. And then he's like, I'm from Ohio. I was like, oh my gosh, you're even a Midwesterner.
Nice.
I was like, that's very fun.
Yeah.
So some of my friends would be like, ugh, I really hate his teaching style. Like, this is so horrible. I really don't like how he teaches. I'm like, I'm chilling. I'm like, this is great. I quite frankly love this teacher.
Yeah.
This is even easy for an American college class. I was like, this is great. He teaches as expected almost. It really felt like just like a 100 level college class. I was like, this is lovely.
Yay.
I love it so much. My Western music history class, she did her master's or something in Texas, so her English was great. She also taught piano to kids in California, I'm pretty sure.
Nice.
She was good. She was passionate. You could tell that she really loves the subject. And then my other Korean culture class, she was a journalism. I think she was a journalism major in college, but she also did a year or 2 abroad in the U.S.
Nice.
So she was also really good. She was very well informed on her topics as well. Everything was super greatly organized for her class. And then I had my Korean class, also very well organized, good, well structured. Not in English.
That one was Korean immersion of that, so she just spoke Korean. Didn't speak English, didn't even know any English. So.
And if you tried answering in a different language, she would say no and move on.
Yeah.
So even if you were trying to explain your answer or do something, if you didn't know, there was the student from China who then he asked, he was like, can I explain it in English? And she said no, and then moved on. I was like, okay.
Oops. Yeah. That was part of it too. You got to be the interpreter when you went out with your friends, and because you knew the most Korean.
Yeah, so there were a couple festivals that our school did, which is different to the U.S. too. There was a Cherry Blossom Festival, March, April, where they had a couple booths set up for people to come and sell stuff. So there was a toy vendor almost. He would sell either puzzles or figurines, kind of children's toys, just a real eclectic variety of stuff. There was bracelets, pins.
Yeah, she got me this little bracelet at the festival there, so that has, that's not the cherry blossom, is it?
It's not a cherry blossom. I got it at the Cherry Blossom Festival though.
Yeah, it's a cute little flower. Very nice.
So when they were trying to explain either prices of things, for the pins it was either buy 3 get 1 free, or 3 pins are this much but one on its own is this much, or just trying to explain really anything, and they would explain it in Korean, and then my friends would look at me and be like, huh? And then I would just have to re-explain in English. I was like, okay, 3 pins are $15, and if you buy 3, you get another one in,
That was very nice.
Yeah, and some at the restaurant too.
Yeah.
I would be the default one if I did have to speak to a waitress, because they don't come in and like check on you. You have to call them over if you need or want anything. So sometimes there's a button on the table that you can press to get their attention if you're ready to order. Otherwise you would have to call them over. So then I would be the default person to order, to talk to them, to ask anything when we went out.
My battery's flashing. Interesting.
Told you.
And I'm charging my other one.
Told you.
All right.
I'll talk
let
back.
me change.
Showers, you want me to show you how I did?
Showers. Oh. All right. So another couple different things that were a little bit different there. Some things that one of them I figured is wet hair. You probably can't tell now that my hair's wet. They said I was kind of about 2 hours behind of us starting our conversations. And so I had taken a shower right before starting. Which over here, wet hair is kind of like no big deal. You can go out with wet hair, you walk around. But in Korea, that's
relatively taboo. You would never see like a Korean out with wet hair. So I would then always have to try to time my showers like that my hair is going to be like dry enough to pass as dry, even if it's still a little damp whenever I go out.
Like disrespectful that you're not ready for your day or something, or not.
Or it could be they have a lot of superstitions, like going to bed with the AC on might like bring ghosts to your home, kind of like old superstitions like that they still kind of follow. So it might also be tied to that.
Okay.
Like going to bed with wet hair might give you a cold. They think going to bed with the AC on is going to give you a cold. So.
And then even showers into like in the hotel rooms, like you didn't have like a shower curtain.
Oh no.
Or like even Mandy has her shower as part of her bathroom that there's just like
it's built into the
floor.
sink.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she has to, I think she has to like lift and turn something to get the water to change from flowing out of her sink to flowing out of the shower head, because it's built into the faucet. In my hotels I didn't have any like that. I don't think I ever the first hotel I was in had like just the shower head in the wall and then the floor, so no like bathtub or anything. So yeah, the drain in the floor, that was the shower. And then my second hotel that I was in had like a bathtub, so that was a bit
But still
more.
a shower curtain.
Correct, no
still
shower
just
curtain.
Open.
Yeah.
So another something that's
there was
a little
also
bit different.
just like a drain on the floor as well. So even though there was a drain in the tub, there was still a drain built into the floor on that hotel as well.
So what, then a couple different things that you went to some concerts there? Was that different than here?
Yeah, I think they were a lot more organized than here, where granted this was the first time I was ever like standing room for a concert, where they split us up, and then it wasn't just based off of what time you got to the venue, it was based off of your actual like ticket number. So I was like ticket 800, Mandy was ticket 900 something. I accidentally bought 2 tickets on 2 different sides of the standing room, and they weren't mixed. They did actually split it. There was like an aisle in the middle, but that was for the band members to walk down at the end of the concert. So whatever that they split it. Yay that they walked by, you know.
So they had standing room, so that's interesting for a bigger concert.
Yeah,
but then you could cheer. You could, because out of some of them, like you have to be quiet, or you have to sit and you can't stand and cheer.
Because I went to 3 concerts and like 3 concerts, and then the university festival, which is technically a concert, but I'm not counting it like that.
Yeah.
The 3 concerts that we went to. The first one was the one I was standing room only. Or not standing room only. I was in the standing section for, and they lined us up by ticket number and then let us in. That one, I think we were allowed to cheer like normal. At least that one had a lot of foreigners, actually. Like a surprising amount of foreigners were at that concert. So I don't know if that was also just the influence of them and how concert etiquette works in other countries. Like here you can cheer whenever you want, you can sing the entire song. In Korea they're really big on like the fan chants that the groups release, and you only sing along to like the official fan chant, and you'll only cheer at like the end of the song, and it's mainly, at least like during COVID, it was like clapping only, you weren't allowed to like actually cheer. So for the first concert we went to, that was I would say pretty typical to the American experience, maybe just a bit more organized of cheer, sing however you want. The second concert that we went to, I felt sad. Like, I understand that's how they do their concerts there, but for that one, we were seated. It was a smaller concert as well. They were a smaller group. We were seated, and then we stay seated for the entire concert, which fine, you know, that feels nice to just be seated. If the chairs were a little bit better, I would be less grumpy about that. My butt hurt by the end of the concert. I was trying so hard to not think about it because that just made it worse, but at the same time I was like, I am dying here. And then, yeah, there was like no cheering until the end of the song, and then you could cheer.
Yeah.
And I didn't know the fan chants. I didn't even hear anyone really doing the fan chants, I think. But it was all just seated, and then they just performed, and I was like, I just feel like I'm watching the music videos, but from further away.
Yeah. Yeah. It's more fun to get up and dance and sing.
Yeah, but then at the end of that concert, they just said if you want to stay and like greet the artist afterwards, just stay seated. Otherwise, if you want to go, get up now and go. And it would just be like another 15 minutes of sitting down to let the artists get ready, get off the stage, change, you know, compose themselves, you know, de-sweat themselves. Yes. And then they lined up, and then they, you know, made us snake around. And that didn't cost anything extra on top of the ticket. You know, it doesn't matter what section you were in. There was like VIP and maybe VVIP as well, and then like general admission kind of, and that's where we were, I think. Nice. But yeah, it was nothing extra. It's not like you had to pay to do they would probably call it like a high touch, even though you don't touch them. It was just like a walk by and wave. But that was part of the concert experience. So they told you like, if you want your phone on, have it out now, get ready, you know, like
go. Videotape. Yeah, you can videotape when you walk by. So you can do that.
So I have a very nice video of us passing and us saying hi. And then that was that one. The last concert we went to, that one, I was too busy crying. They're an older group, so I think fan chants are also a bit more of like a bigger thing. I think the newer groups are a bit more open to, not like understanding, but like more open to like the cheering the entire time. But the older groups, they even asked us at one point, like, you guys studied the fan chant, right? Like, it's really important that you guys are doing this. And I was like, I did kind of study, I promise, I did. Because I think they just made one. Like, they made a fan chant for one of their older songs, because when they announced the concert, they asked the fans, is there any song that you want to see the fan chant of? So I think, it wasn't their debut album, but it was one or two after that song ended up winning as we want the fan chant for that song. Nice. So they reposted or made that and posted that video. So they told us like, you gotta study this one, concert soon, study this one. And I was like, okay. So that one was a wonderful time.
So of your whole stay of Korea, like, what was your favorite part?
The Astro concert.
It's the last one.
Yeah, because now one of the members is going solo, so this is they like brought him back technically for this concert. Nice. So it's the last concert with every member there. Well,
the stuff you did a lot. You went and saw Temple. Yeah, that was like Susan and Angela. Mm-hmm. You saw Everland. You went to the aquarium.
The aquarium was nice too.
You did the concerts.
Yep.
You had the Cherry Blossom Festival.
Went to Hongdae so many times.
Went to Hongdae, yeah. So you went doing those, going off to like Seoul. So part of Seoul again has a different little neighborhood areas. So there's Busan and Hongdae. And
Busan's in the south.
Oh, okay, never mind. That's right. I'm thinking
Gangnam.
Yeah.
Which is to the east. Yeah, Gangnam is east. I don't even know if that counts as Seoul.
You took the subways to go there.
Yeah, once I learned the subways, because they were a bit hard to navigate as a person who also is used to driving a car and not having to learn public transit. That was hard. But once you learn how to use the subway, it's easy.
And it was like an hour away?
Yeah.
So not too bad of a trip, but...
No.
You went there, you went to
Yeah.
birthday cafes.
Those were also amazing. I have like 20 cups from the birthday cafes. Anytime an idol or a group has like a birthday or an anniversary, cafes in that one neighborhood fans would organize with cafes in that neighborhood to have a little event. So like paper cups with the idol's face on it, and sometimes like some freebies. So like postcard sized pictures of the idol, or little like acrylic stand like printed like characters of that idol.
Or even their like photo cards.
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. And
drinks, they'd have a special drink, maybe a special
No,
cookie.
the drinks weren't special, but
Oh, I thought they were. They had.
No, they were
Were there
just
stickers on
drinks. There were stickers on the drinks, but in terms of like, it's not like the drink flavors were
Oh.
special.
Well, didn't they have a name for them though, or no?
No.
Didn't they have?
No, it was never like
Menus.
no, it was never like an
Menus,
idol
coffee.
themed drink. It was just like,
Oh,
okay, you
okay,
get an
okay.
Americano, peach iced tea, or some third option. Typically, those are like the
Sticker.
main ones. But
Oh, okay,
then,
okay.
yeah, whatever drink you ordered, they were like already pre-made in a sometimes reusable cup with the sticker that was the same picture as the paper cup on it.
Okay.
And then they would just give you the paper cup, put the drink in the cup, and then the bag of
Yeah,
the
as in
goods.
you don't use the paper cups. The paper
No.
cups that you get to take home
Those
and
are
all
just
that. But the drink
novelty.
itself is in its own plastic container
Yeah.
with a little cap on it and stuff.
Yeah.
So that. So yeah, you did a lot.
Yeah.
You happy with everything you accomplished?
Yeah.
And you did that. Anything you regret? Anything you wish you would have done?
There was another neighborhood in Seoul, kind of targeted to foreigners, Itaewon, that I don't know what's there, but I think it would have been nice to have gone there. But every other time we ended up planning something, it was always just Hongdae that we went to, which is fine. It's not like Hongdae's bad, but once you've been there and really walked around like Red Street, you've been there. You know, nothing new. I mean, like the
forgot
busking
you.
changes. Like there are people on the street who perform.
Oh yeah.
That'll change, you
Street
know,
performers,
that's
yeah.
new every week or whatever, but I never went to really like other places in Seoul. Like I went to Myeongdong, I think once. We did a color analysis while we were there. We went there once. They had a really good pretzel cafe or something. That was
Nice.
amazing. I wish I actually could have gone back. I never thought about that, but
Well,
yeah.
You did a boat ride. You did a boat ride thing too. Unfortunately, it was raining.
Yeah.
So they were hoping to go back and do that, which they didn't get a chance to. But
Yeah.
to do it on a sunset boat ride.
Yeah, because I thought that would have been
So,
nice, and then it ended up
cute.
raining the entire day, like torrential rain, where we were considering ponchos, but it
I
was
think-
nice in theory.
The only thing I think about for your list, you talked about Seoul Tower you wanted to go to, and
Yeah.
then maybe like a cat cafe or something, but that
Yeah.
ended up being too far away.
There were like cat cafes in Hongdae, but whenever we went, we either found somewhere else to eat. I think I would drag us. They had like a Halloween themed restaurant called Witch's Kitchen. I would drag us there because I really liked the sweet potato pizza that they had there. Or
That
we would
was the
get
other
other
thing.
food.
They have a lot of sweet potato items there. They have a couple different
Yes.
flavored. They have different flavored foods there that we can't get here. Like
Yeah.
the sweet potato Pringles, which I don't think you could find this time
I
either.
couldn't, no.
That was Mandy's favorite last time she was there. But sweet potato drinks.
Yeah. Or they have a special kind of grape, I think, there. Muscat grapes. So I had a green muscat grape drink one day that was pretty good. But yeah, they had a sweet potato pizza. So it was like a sweet potato crust, tomato sauce, cheese, corn, ham, and then I think it was a chocolate sauce in like the shape of a spider web, and then they would put like a cookie spider in the middle of the pizza.
And it was good.
It was
you
so
said.
good.
Yeah.
I-
You wouldn't have like a sweet potato pizza? Really?
No, so
But-
the worst part is if you ever get like a bunch of chocolate and a bunch of ham in one mouthful, that would kind of be
Okay.
a bit of an assault to the senses. But I love that pizza. I would get it again in a heartbeat.
You ordered it. You had it a couple times.
Yeah, I had
At
it
least
3
twice.
times.
Three?
I
Yeah.
think 3 times.
3 times.
Because it was so good.
And then you just said like they add corn to a lot of items.
yes,
Like
I
adding
mean,
the corn
even
on
if you just
pizza and
order,
corn on-
yeah, if you just order a cheese pizza, yes, all it says is
Potatoes?
cheese pizza. It comes with corn in the cheese, which is surprisingly good.
Yeah.
As a picky eater, I have to admit, it was a good pizza. I might make
Yeah.
it here, or like makes
Yeah.
I think there's some restaurant that'll. I know they
Interesting.
do like mac and cheese on pizza here, so I think I can get someone
Yeah.
to put corn on pizza.
Yeah. Other than that, a lot of hills. That was the other
Yes.
thing. You miss anything? Was there anything you miss? Like the hills? You know, a lot
I
of
miss
hilly walk.
the peach iced tea
Yeah,
I
look for that
miss
here.
so much.
Tried a couple different flavors already, went on the shopping, whatever, and say, how about this one? Take a picture, something. Cassie's like, sure, let's try that. Let's try. But
yeah, because I had that was like my default drink there because I don't do coffee. So peach iced tea was the like next most common drink you could get anywhere besides like Sprite or Coca-Cola. But like the McDonald's peach iced tea, phenomenal. The CU peach iced tea, phenomenal. I would go down at like 10 p.m. literally just run out just to get a peach iced tea because I was like, it's so good. I'm thinking about it. I really want it. But I cannot find an equivalent here because all the teas here have a really weird, almost like bitter aftertaste. That's just not right.
yeah,
Yeah.
some stuff here is.
Yeah.
So would you go back?
Yeah. 100%. I don't think I'm allowed out of the country anytime soon on account of my job. And my boss probably will be sad. If I even try to leave again, I don't think he'll let me. But same, or my manager also wants me. But
They were very happy to have you back.
yes, and I'm happy to be back.
Work is
Yes.
happy. They're like, ooh, Cassie's
No.
back.
No,
She bought them some nice little trinkets, little
Yes.
gifts, some magnets and some jewelry and a
Yep.
pen and stuffed animals.
Yeah.
She did good job. When she first got there, as she was shopping, she was thinking about all her peeps back home
Yep.
and making sure that she was buying little souvenirs, and
Yeah.
so that was very nice. They were very happy to have all
Yeah.
that. Very grateful. Yeah.
Yeah. Also didn't realize truly how much of a luxury it was to talk to Mandy on the same time zone. Until now, where I told someone, I feel like I'm just talking into the void, and then I'll be sleeping, and then the void replies, and then there might be like a couple, like 2-3 hours where we're awake at the same time, but it's really early morning here, late night there, and I'm not trying to keep her up any later because I know that she works the next day.
Yeah.
But
That's true. Mandy's very
That's hard.
sad that Cassie
Yes.
left. They did a lot together. They got together almost every weekend.
Yeah.
And were able to go out and do things together, which is awesome because that's the thing they wanted to do. They didn't
Yeah.
want to just go to the bars. They didn't want
No.
to just sit. They're together. They
Yeah.
went to go see what the country was about.
yeah.
So that's the way to do it if you can. Go
Yeah.
live there for a while and see the sights and take in the culture and all that. Nice. Would you recommend?
Yeah. You don't even really have to speak Korean to manage. A lot of them they have enough English knowledge to try to help you the best that they can. So as long as you're open and take the time to understand, like listen to what they're saying, and then you can figure out what they're saying. Even,
Especially Seoul.
Yeah.
It's very kind of touristy.
Yeah.
A lot of English
Like,
speakers are
yeah.
good.
So obviously it helps to know the language, but you don't have to. There
Yeah.
are obviously international students who didn't know anything and they still went, and I think they still had a good time. I had a great time. But yeah, you don't have to know the language. If you're just interested, you can go. If you're willing to take that 16-hour flight, you can go.
Yeah. Nice. So that's about it. Good time, like I said. Yep, saw a lot, did a lot. So thank you for
You
letting
are
me
so
interview.
welcome.
Let me
My busy schedule, I had to carve out time for this.
her day off. I get to utilize some of her hours to do all this. So I hope you guys learned a little something. I hope you enjoyed hearing about her trip there and all the details. If you have any questions and all that, leave it all down below. We'll answer them and yeah, go from there.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining us on this, and as per usual, you guys
Keep positive. Go make it a great day.
Bye bye. Annyeong. Annyeong.